The group game reaches a decisive moment. By now, the power structure inside the group is clear, even if no one wants to admit it. Some voices carry weight, others are barely heard. The game presents a critical decision. This time, the consequences are immediate. Someone will benefit. Someone will be pushed closer to collapse. Shiho senses the shift and tries to speak up, but her words feel late. The game has already moved past ideals like fairness and honesty. Shibe realizes something terrifying. The group isn't voting based on logic anymore. They're following influence, and he no longer has any. Tenji understands what this means. The game has chosen its center. Yutori watches quietly, her expression unreadable. She adapts once again, aligning herself where survival is most certain. And Yuichi? Yuichi doesn't give orders. He doesn't argue. He doesn't force decisions. He simply guides the conversation. A suggestion here, a pause there, just enough to make others believe the conclusion was their own. When the final choice is made, the result is undeniable. The outcome favors Yuichi's position perfectly, not because he demanded it, but because the group naturally moved in his direction. The organizers confirm the result. The system responds to influence, not authority. The chapter ends with a chilling realization. The Tomodachi game no longer controls Yuuichi Katagiri. Yuuichi Katagiri controls the Tomodachi game. The aftermath of the decision settles in. No one celebrates. No one argues. The group has silently accepted a new reality. The game is no longer unpredictable. It has a center. Shiho finally realizes what happened. The choice didn't feel forced, yet it led exactly where it was meant to. For the first time, she questions whether free will even exists inside this game. Shibe feels completely exposed. He understands now that survival isn't about making the right choices. It's about being relevant. And he isn't. Tenji watches Yuichi with a mix of fear and respect. He sees the pattern clearly. This isn't manipulation through lies or threats. This is manipulation through trust. Yutori notices it too. Her calm expression doesn't change, but her attention sharpens. For the first time, she sees Yuichi not just as a survivor, but as a rival. And Yuichi? Yuichi reflects quietly. He understands that power attracts danger. The more influence he gains, the more visible he becomes, and visibility invites counterattacks. So he begins to pull back, not to lose control, but to conceal it. He lets others speak more. He allows small disagreements. He avoids appearing perfect. Because the strongest position in this game is not being seen as the strongest. The chapter ends with a subtle but chilling shift. The Tomodachi game has entered a new phase. It's no longer about who will betray next. It's about who will challenge control. And Yuichi Katagiri is already preparing for that moment. A new tension quietly fills the group. Nothing changes on the surface. The rules remain the same. The game continues. But underneath, something has shifted. Yutori begins to act differently. She asks more questions. She observes reactions instead of outcomes. She studies Yuichi's silence more than his words. Shiho senses the growing unease. The group feels divided, not by open conflict, but by uncertainty. No one knows who is truly safe anymore. Shibe tries to regain footing, but every move feels delayed. The game has already adjusted without him. Tenji understands what's happening. This isn't coincidence. This is a counterbalance. The game creates pressure where power concentrates. And now, that pressure is turning toward Yuichi. Yuichi notices it too. He realizes someone is testing him, forcing situations where influence alone won't be enough. Decisions now require commitment. Neutrality is becoming risky. Yutori smiles softly. For the first time, she places Yuichi in a position where helping others could cost him, and staying silent could expose him. It's subtle, perfectly legal, and dangerous. Yuichi responds carefully. He makes a choice that seems slightly inefficient, even wrong. The group is confused. His image cracks just enough to ease suspicion. But beneath that mistake lies intent. The chapter ends with realization on both sides. Yutori understands that Yuichi is not reckless, and Yuichi understands that Yutori is no longer hiding. The real game has begun. If you want, the tension finally surfaces. What was once subtle now becomes undeniable. Two players are shaping the game. The rules haven't changed. The structure remains the same. But every choice feels heavier. Yutori makes her move. She creates a situation where trust must be shown publicly. Someone has to take responsibility, and silence is no longer safe. The group hesitates, unsure who to follow. Shiho feels trapped. She wants honesty, but honesty now carries consequences. Every word risks pushing her closer to danger. Shibe panics. He realizes that choosing sides is no longer optional, and choosing wrong could end him. Tenji watches carefully. This is no longer about survival alone. This is about who controls the direction of fear. Yuichi steps forward. Not loudly, not confidently. He accepts responsibility, but only partially. It's a calculated move. Enough to protect others, but limited enough to avoid full exposure. The group reacts exactly as he predicted. Relief spreads. Suspicion fades. Dependence deepens. Yutori notices. Her calm expression tightens just slightly. She realizes Yuichi didn't fall into the trap. He reshaped it. The outcome shifts again. Not completely, but decisively. The chapter ends with a silent understanding. Yutori and Yuichi are no longer testing the game. They are testing each other. And from this point on, every move will be a direct challenge. If you want,